What's good, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing good. So we are back today for another video, and I have a lot of updates. A lot's been going on in the past couple days, so let's go over this so you guys can be kept in the loop and make the best decisions for yourself going forward. Alright guys, so first news I got for you today was released today, July 8th. Dividend payments plunged by $42.5 billion in worst quarter for income investors since the financial crash. Some key points here. Dividends on net fell $42.5 billion in the second quarter from a year ago. And then here is the craziest part. This was the largest decline since the first quarter of 2009 during the Great Recession, according to S&P Dow Jones indices. For the S&P 500, dividends totaled $119 billion, a sharp drop from the record $127 billion in the first quarter. That's absolutely horrible news for those of us who invest in dividends. And quick disclaimer, I do invest in stocks that pay dividends. Now let's move on. So companies that are struggling to get through the bug slashed the amount of money they return to shareholders through dividends in the second quarter. Now let's continue here. This was the biggest drop since the 2009 recession. There was massive dividend suspension in Q2 of 2020 as companies had no time to ride out the bug, as sales were cut off and positive cash flow turned to burn rate analysis. For the S&P 500 large cap companies, dividend totaled $119 billion for the first quarter, compared with the record $127 billion in the first quarter. Yeah guys, it was getting kind of ugly. Even companies that paid consistently, they're dividend aristocrats, they had a cut too. You got Ross, they had a cut. And I made a video going over a bunch of other companies I don't have remembered off the top of my head, but Ross, I think Macy's. I got a whole playlist. You guys can check it out under my stock videos. You can check it out. And states have seen flare-ups have begun to roll back their openings, threatening the slow growth. That's definitely not going to help. Now they're saying the cuts appear to have subsided as those most impacted have taken actions, and those currently able to ride through the initial downturn are still able to pay. If the overall reopening improves and regions act to limit any upturns, we would expect to see fewer and smaller dividend increases in the second half. And that's true. Some companies have been raising their dividends, but it's by a much smaller percentage. If you guys want, let me know in the comments below. I can make a video going over companies that have been raising their dividends. Something I had a plan to do, but let me know if you guys want to see that. I will put that on my list of videos to make for you guys. And yeah, this bug is still flaring up. However, the economy doesn't seem to mind, guys. The Dow Jones is up again today. We're in the green, up 177 points. S&P 500 is also up about 25 points. So nothing too crazy, but nonetheless, it is up. Now, here's what's interesting. Today is July 8th. This is published July 8th. U.S. reports single day spike of 60,000 new bug cases, and that's a record. Now, I've been alive for a long time, guys, okay, almost 30 years. Before, there was two things that were certain in life: death and taxes. Now, there's two more. There's four things that are total in life. The other two are that every day there's going to be a new record of spikes from what we're seeing, and the people who we pay to represent us are going to be on vacation most of the time, okay? That's just a fact of life now. We got four certainties. Now here's some key points. There were 60,021 new bug cases reported in the U.S. over the previous 24-hour period. Arizona, California, Florida, and Texas have accounted for nearly half of all new cases in the U.S. in recent days. I wonder what's going on in those states that they have nearly half of all the new cases in the U.S. They do have high populations. California, there's a lot of people. Florida, Texas. But let me know in the comments below if you guys think there are other factors causing this. Now here's what's interesting. Where has the good old Dr. Fauci been? I have not seen this guy. However, Dr. Fauci has lamented in recent days that while many other countries have succeeded in shutting down and reducing new daily cases to a manageable level, the U.S. has failed to do the same. So is it possible that Trump and Fauci are not on the same page with the guidelines and what they want to do moving forward? I'm going to say it's probably likely. There's a lot going on behind the scenes we probably don't know, but these guys, I don't think they're on the same page based on the information that was just released. All right, so let's continue on here. As you can see on the side, it tells us as well. Brooks Brothers files for bankruptcy, seeks buyer and closes some stores. That was big news. They've been around for a long time. Bed Bath & Beyond to close 200 stores over 2 years as sales fall almost 50%. Absolutely staggering news, guys. It's just crazy. This chart is a really nice chart. Daily new cases in the U.S. As you can see, daily new reported cases right here. April and then May was consistent, and then we dropped here, guys. From May to June, it seemed like it was kind of flatlining, and then now we have our records. And also too, probably the whole protesting and gatherings and all that good stuff has probably caused a spike, because some reports have said that when you get this thing, it takes a week or 2 weeks before the symptoms kick in and you feel the effects. So that's definitely possible. Top White House official Dr. Fauci has lamented in recent days that while many other countries have succeeded, we have failed. The European Union as an entirety, it went up and then came down to baseline, Fauci said Monday. Q&A with Dr. Fauci. Now they're having little limps, as you might expect, as they try to reopen. We went up, never came down to baseline. Now it's surging back up, so it's a serious situation that we have to address immediately. Does this sound like another shutdown? It sounds like a shutdown to me. It sounds like they have to shut everything down again. I'm just saying, what are they going to do to address it? We just have to wait and see, I guess. Fauci said last week the U.S. is not in total control of the bug, and new cases could surpass 100,000 new infections per day if this continues at its current pace. I cannot make an accurate prediction, but it's going to be very disturbing, Fauci told senators at a June 30th hearing. We are now having 40,000+ new cases a day. I would not be surprised if we went to 100,000 per day if this does not turn around, and so I am very concerned. Yeah, guys, that's very concerning. Like I said, at this rate, they're probably going to have to shut things down again. They're going to have to look at their options, but U.S. bug cases surge. As you can see, we are leading the world as usual. And that's about it for this article. There are more cases, more hospitalizations. Some of those you'll soon be seeing more passings. Fauci said in an interview. Seems pretty bleak. It's a false narrative to take comfort in a lower rate of passings, Fauci said during a Tuesday stream with Doug Jones, Senator of Alabama. There are so many other things that are very dangerous and bad about the bug. Don't get yourself into false complacency. I think they're just setting us up for another shutdown, guys. That's just my prediction. It would probably be game over. The economy is already game over, but it'll be extra game over if things get shut down again. Just a prediction. Now, in my state, North Carolina reports new record high hospitalization numbers. 15 straight days of 1,000+ new bug cases. North Carolina has reported 1,435 new cases, marking the 15th day in a row that it has seen a single day increase of more than 1,000 cases. In total, 77,000 people have tested positive. It's not known how many of these cases are active. There are 994 people currently hospitalized, which is the highest single day number for hospitalizations reported since the bug has began. And Roy Cooper is in a tough spot. On June 24th, people were required to wear face masks in public. However, I don't know if you guys live in a state where face masks are required. Let me know in the comments below. But it seems like most people really aren't wearing face masks, and they don't seem to have any type of medical or health issue. It just seems like they don't want to wear a mask. That's the problem. How do you distinguish who has a health issue and who does not? You just take their word. I mean, anybody can just say they don't have a health issue, right? So it's kind of hard to enforce something like that. He's still concerned, and the one big problem was gyms, guys. Gyms have been closed. Bars have been closed. Bars, I don't really care too much, right? The bar's closed. Okay, it is what it is. But gyms, I mean, we got to stay fit, right? We got to stay healthy. We can't just eat and go walking. You got to do some physical activity, lift some weights. And unfortunately, you have to go to a nearby state or just do some weights at home. All right, and to go over, just to add more insult to injury here, bankruptcies. Now, to be clear, a bankruptcy does not mean that a company is shutting down. basically, to keep it really simple, there's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 11 is the bad one. It's bankruptcy for business. Chapter 11 is used to help in debt business restructure. So yeah, most of the time they're just restructuring their debt. So they're either selling it to another company. This is from Rocket Lawyer. And yeah, bankruptcies are not good because sometimes they have to lay people off. They sell off their assets to help pay down their debts or stay afloat. So sometimes it can lead to companies going out of business, and sometimes it's just a temporary restructure. Like Blockbuster they went bankrupt and then they restructured and they couldn't survive. It was game over for Blockbuster. I miss the good old days, guys. I miss the good old days. The retail bankruptcies and store closings just keep coming for some merchants. The bug was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's true too. With all of the technology and people shopping online, e-commerce has really taken over the game. People are just finding it a lot more comfortable to order items than going to stores, trying clothes on, or even buying food. I mean, there's a lot of more efficient ways to do it. Once the pricing is cheaper, it's gonna be a game changer. Once it's been established and it's good to go. So department stores have been going through a really difficult time. JCPenney, I think JCPenney was one of the dividend aristocrats. They had to cut theirs, and they're filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in May. They're closing 154, which is roughly 850 stores. So that's what they have to do. They have to sell some of their property so that they can stay afloat, or else they're going to be game over, extra game over. Neiman Marcus, which filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 11 in May, they had too much debt. Macy's was the other one that was dividend aristocrat. They announced plans in late June to cut 3,900 corporate and management jobs. So I wonder if in their case, if you're better off just being a regular employee versus being in management or corporate. That's what it seems like it sounds here, what they're saying. The company said it would close 125 stores, or 1/5 of its locations. That means more jobs that are gone. Clothing chains, Lucky Brand. You guys ever had Lucky Brands? I never had Lucky Brands, but I know they're popular. People were wearing them. But Lucky Brands, they closed a lot of their stores. Brick and mortar shops, they said they're expected to bounce back, but I doubt it, guys. I doubt it. And then plus people were, sneaking into shops and taking stuff during the whole uprising, or people were voicing their opinions in the streets, and these stores just got destroyed. So it's not going to help them moving forward. J. Crew, also pretty well-known brand, they filed for bankruptcy. Women's apparel retailer Jill, I don't know what that is, but apparently they shut down. Children's Place plans closed 300 stores. Specialty retailers, GNC, they closed, and that's not really a surprise because GNC doesn't really have a whole lot of business. When you look at them, you can buy supplements online. It's a lot cheaper and it costs less overhead to do so. Not really a surprise, but these are all jobs that are gone, guys. And once these jobs are gone, they're probably not going to come back. Let's just be honest here. United Airlines sending layoff warnings to nearly half of its U.S. employees. Now, I don't know all the details about the bailouts for the airline industries, but I do know that they can't lay people off until, I think it was October or September. That's why the economy is kind of staying afloat, partly due to that, because they still have to keep their workforce until then. 36,000 employees, nearly half of its workforce could be furloughed in October. There you go, guys. That's the date. It was in October. So they can't furlough their people until October. That's just part of the conditions of the loan that they got. So it gives people some time to make their plans for what they're going to do in the meantime. And once that time comes, they have to get a new job. 36,000 is the worst case scenario. The notices being sent to employees this month are meant to comply, here we go, with a 60-day warning ahead of mass job cuts. So they have to give 60 days to let them know what's going on. The furlough could include up to 15,000 flight attendants, 11,000 customer service and gate agents, 5,500 maintenance workers, and 2,250 pilots. So this is not good for anybody. So less pilots, does that mean pilots are going to have to work more hours? Are they going to be more exhausted? Is it going to be more likelihood that they can make an error because they're just going to be tired working more hours? Same thing with these people. Flight attendants, customer service, gate agents, maintenance workers. We know what's going to happen, guys, right? They're going to have to cut the amount of people they have, and they're going to have to squeeze everything they can to get these people to work the job of 2 or 3 employees just to try to stay afloat. So it's going to be a difficult situation. That's part of the reason why I did not invest in any airline company, American, foreign, nothing, because it's too risky for me right now. I like other companies. These companies have cut their dividends. I'm not getting anywhere near the airline industry. Too much going on. I don't feel comfortable with it. I stay away from it. Layoffs are coming. It's the last option. Executives said the notices covered 45% of the airline staff. October 1st, guys. That's my prediction. On that day, or the days leading up to it, or the days after it, the stock market, keep your eyes open. I think a lot's going to happen. It's probably going to drop significantly. Just a prediction. Air travel in the U.S. plunged 95% from March 1st until mid-April. So yeah, that just destroyed the airline industry. Number of U.S. air travel around the July 4th weekend was the highest since March, but still down about 70% from a year ago. Executives of other airlines have predicted their companies will be much smaller with fewer employees in October. Delta Airlines told employees recently that it will send layoff notices to more than 2,500 of its 14,000 pilots. Again, same issue, guys. These guys are going to have to lay their people off. They're probably going to have to work a lot harder. Their likelihood of making mistakes is going to increase. Movie theaters. Who misses movie theaters? I don't, but I know a lot of people do. I like watching movies at home. Much easier, more comfortable. You have all the snacks you could want. But some people like going to movie theaters. Movie theater reopenings have been pushed back. More bankruptcy filings could be next. Then Arizona Governor Doug Ducey listed indoor theaters among the businesses ordered to stay closed until late July. Yeah, because movie theaters are not essential, guys. Remember, only essential businesses are opening. Taking your kids out and having them be quiet for 2 hours to sit down and just chill, that's not essential for your sanity, right? Just saying. At the same time, movie studios have held back the release of movies that are supposed to open with the reopening of theaters. Warner Brothers moved the release of Tenet. That was like a cool movie. I think that was the one with Christopher Nolan directing it. They had to delay it. Taking on debt, there's going to be a ton of debt, and some of them have to file for bankruptcy protection to try to survive with everything going on. However, too, I've been hearing that they might just have a streaming service to just try to stream some of these movies straight to the home. I don't know how they're going to do that. They might need to try to recoup some of their losses. All right, some more bankruptcies. Chesapeake joins more than 200 other bankrupt U.S. shale producers. Shale collapse. Chesapeake, Whiting Petroleum, oil exporter, Extraction Oil and Gas, Ultra Petroleum Corporation filed, Sable, Permian Resources. So a lot of energy companies have basically been filing for bankruptcy and laying people off and doing what they can to try to stay afloat. All the household names that have filed for bankruptcy due to the bug. So here's a list. In April, we had Diamond Offshores, Whiting Petroleum, May, J. Crew, Gold's Gym, Neiman Marcus, JCPenney, Hertz, Tuesday Morning, PQ, New York. In June, GNC, 24 Hour Fitness, which was kind of a surprise, and everyone's favorite, Chuck E. Cheese. Who didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese when they were a kid? I like Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese was fun. Lucky Brand, Brooks Brothers. These are just to name a few. There's a lot more. So it's going to be a tough couple of months, guys, and it doesn't look like there's an end in sight anytime soon. Also, this was released today. When can we get a second check? These guys are on vacation, though, remember, so it won't be happening anytime soon. Those who are looking for the second check for the first time, Mitch McConnell says it's likely they're going to have a new package. I would predict in the next couple weeks, I should say. If there's a new rescue package, I'm pretty sure there will be. I'll be unveiling another one. We absolutely need to provide another one to provide relief and economic prosperity for families. We're going to have steeply elevated rates of joblessness for a long time, and there will be a lot of suffering unless we do more measures. All right, so there you have it. That's from Mitch McConnell. Second check for $1,200, $2,000. How much could you really get? That's a good question. I mean, that's going to make a big difference. Washington leaders are talking about these possibilities. Nothing. Congress could focus its efforts on tax breaks for businesses, which they probably will, as a way to boost the U.S. job numbers. $1,200 maximum single payment for individuals, $2,000 for 12 months. So basically it's what we've been saying, guys. $2,000 a month for 12 months, $2,000 a month for a couple months, $4,000 temporary travel credit, payroll tax cut. There's a lot on the table. We're gonna have to wait and see what they decide to do once they're back from vacation, if they ever get back. Alright guys, that's gonna be the video. As always, if you're not subscribed, don't subscribe. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it a like. Until next time, stay safe. Peace.